Gorgeous. Hello, gorgeous. Welcome back to my channel. You already know today is my 1 year anniversary. It's my 1 year anniversary. She is Tamika and Tamika is she. She is Tamika and Tamika is she. She is Tamika and Tamika is me. It's my 1 year anniversary, girl. I am so happy and so excited that I'm going to get into how many pounds did I lose while on Zepbound, and what did I do to lose weight, and any regrets that I have while on Zepbound. For those who do not know and that are new to my channel, I used to be on Wegovy. I will explain that a little bit later, but we're going to get into, let's take it way back down memory lane. We're going to review this together. All right. So this was me right here, girl. Can you believe it? This is what I look like a month after taking Wegovy back in 2023. I went from 190 to 170 pounds. Yes, honey, I had thick thighs, and that's one of the things that I love about my body is how thick my thighs were. So this was me during my transition where I was off of Wegovy, and I was just trying to lose the weight on my own, trying to do like a body recomp. And, your girl had a little booty on her, And then this was me getting ready to start Zepbound. I had ended up gaining some weight around my stomach area because I had went on this plant-based diet where I was eating more carbs, and I was doing the Madougal diet to be exact. And I just got so inflamed, girl. It was terrible. All right, so here's my Wegovy timeline. As you can see right here, I lost 20 pounds. And then this is me getting ready to start Zepbound. I was picking up my pen, and I'm doing my injection. Yes, and it did hurt. So I ended up being 174 pounds. So that means within that 9-month break, your girl only gained 4 pounds. You can lose weight while off of the injections or maintain your weight. Don't ever let anybody tell you that you can't, okay? And look how full figured my face was. Of course, I started on Zepbound on 2.5 milligrams, and I've been able to titrate up every single month. So I was on 2.5 and then went to 5 milligrams, which was a nice little sweet spot for me. But when I got on 7.5 in June, that's when I noticed that my appetite was really suppressed. Like, it was suppressed on 5 and I was feeling it on 2.5, but baby, 7.5 did it for me. Okay. So this was me in June. I was in a weight loss challenge here with some other YouTubers here that are not within the GLP-1 community. And I was trying my hardest to stay within the weightlifting, but I was very inconsistent. And I just did what I can do, which was just walk. So this was my body around this time. I would say still in June, heading to July. And I like my body right there. I really thought that was a nice silhouette for me. Then I started noticing even more changes in my body and how cute I was looking in my shorts. I have not been able to wear these shorts, and for me to put these shorts on last summer in 2024, it was amazing. It felt good. Like, look how toned my thighs were. There were not a lot of sagging issues going on, and I do miss my hair. I really do. I miss my hair so bad. But okay, so this was me after the challenge. So the challenge was for the whole entire month of June. So this was somewhere around July. I was just trying on my clothes just to see how it looked compared to when I was on Wegovy, and I noticed like my size 12 jeans. So this is what I look like in 142. Big transformation. I was starting to get a lot of compliments from people telling me like, hey girl, your body looks good. Like, you don't need to go down anymore. And then you notice like my glutes were completely gone compared. That booty left me alone. It was gone. I hit 137 in August. This is my birthday. You know, even more changes with my body. I'm looking slim. Of course, I'm getting a little bit more unsolicited comments from people that I knew telling me that I was just, you know, too small, too skinny. Boom, I hit 136. 136 was my maintenance weight, and that was in November of 2020. I was trying to do body recomp. All right, so now let's get into some questions that you may have had. I hope you guys like really enjoyed that little clip there. As you can see a difference like in my body, girl. Like seriously, you can, we'll get into that in a second, but you can really see a difference in my body and how much weight I have lost. And to be clear, I superseded my weight loss expectations, okay? All right, so far as like, let's talk about my authorization real quick. My authorization was for around 7 months. So from March until November of 2024 was when I had enough time to lose weight. I had to go from 170 down to 150. That was my initial weight loss goal. So how much was it? My insurance covered everything, so it was zero cost. But because I went through, the light is going down, I apologize. So because I went through an online doctor that I knew personally, and so my copay with him was $50. Now you might be wondering, well, if your insurance is zero and you're paying him $50, why didn't you just go with your PCP? My PCP was not having it. They were not giving up. They did not want to be bothered with the GLP-1 medication. So I just went with somebody that I just felt comfortable with, and I just paid my $50 a month, and that is how I've been able to continue on with the medication. Now, this is the same doctor that I was with Wegovy, but the thing is my insurance didn't cover it then, so I had to go with his high price at the time, and that was around $200 something. And need I say more? Me trying to continue 6, 7 months, 8 months to a year paying $200 was just not feasible for me at the time, which is why I got off of Wegovy. Talk about the milligrams and how I've been able to titrate up. All right, so like I said, I started off with 2.5, went to 5, and I stayed on 7.5 for 2 months, and then went to 10 in August. Realized 10 milligrams was just way too much for me, and I was just barely eating. I was eating around 600 calories, passed out, got back on 7.5 by September, and I have been on 7.5 all the way up until November. That's when I titrated back down to 5 milligrams, and I have been on 5 milligrams ever since. So when on maintenance, I have been doing this bi-weekly, and then just recently I started doing it weekly. Let's get into how did I lose the weight. It's quite simple. For one, you have to be in a calorie deficit in order to lose weight, regardless of what medications that you are on, or if you are not on a GLP-1. So what I did was, the first thing, once I noticed that my appetite was being suppressed, and that was around the 7.5 milligrams, I went from 3 meals a day to 2 meals a day. I would substitute one with just straight protein, which would be like a protein shake and some Greek yogurt. Like everything was just straight protein. And I would just have 2 sensible meals. It comes down to me eating out. I would do that in moderation. And when I did go eat out, and if you were following me, you would notice that I would take pictures of my food before and take pictures of my food after. That means I would eat only half of my food. I wouldn't do it on purpose. It was seriously because I could not finish my food because of my appetite suppression. So I also cut out a lot of foods and drinks that didn't service me. So like, for example, orange juice. Orange juice is full of sugar. There's no need for me to have that while I'm on this medication, and I prefer not to drink something like that when I know that I can easily get full. I would rather drink, some water or some type of Propel, sparkling water. I would rather have that than to have orange juice. Pills, junk food, I would eat that in moderation, but for the most part, honey, I cut out a lot of sweets. Like my favorite ice cream is strawberry ice cream, and I cut that out completely. I cut out Oreos completely. Just little like chocolate that I will have from time to time, but I will also try to find alternatives to have, you know, like the low carb ice cream, something like that. But I didn't go too overboard with the low sugar stuff, because that's what I did when I was with Wegovy. I did a lot of that, and I didn't want to do that this time around. It was either I pick one or two things, have that, and then don't buy the rest. Next thing is, in moderation, I would calorie count. I did not calorie count every single week. Moderation is when I did it. When I felt like tracking, I tracked. When I didn't feel like tracking, I didn't track. And another thing is, I relied more on walking because I knew I can stay consistent in that versus me doing weightlifting, because earlier I said I was not consistent with my weightlifting. And what I mean by that is I will, you know, weightlift for a good 3 or 4 days in one week. The next week will be 2 days out of the week. And then the next week I will skip a week, skip the next week, go back and do it for once or twice. And then, you know, I was just more consistent that month because of June, because it was a June challenge. But after that, baby, I just went back to my regular smegular walking. But let's talk about my regrets. First regret, and I'm going to be very vulnerable in this part of the segment here. My regret was looking at the number on the scale and the number of my BMI. If you've ever, you know, went to the doctor, of course, we all know about that BMI. Like if you're above the BMI, you're considered overweight, obese, or morbidly obese. And for me to have finally have lost my weight, which was from 174 all the way down to 136, like I surpassed my weight loss goal by 15 something pounds. And because I was so focused on the number, like it literally felt good. My wellness check and my BMI was on point. It was in the green. When it came down to the scale, it had all these different weight loss goals, because as soon as I hit 150, it was like, okay, let me see if I can hit 145. Then it was like, okay, so let me see if I can hit this number. And it just kept going and progressing. And you're probably wondering, okay, so where did the 130 came from? A few weeks ago, I mentioned that I wanted to drop a few extra pounds. I gained 4 pounds. So from 136 to 140, I gained 4 pounds in 4 months. And I did that on purpose so I can body recomp and just do a metabolism reset. So I needed to do a refeed. I can't eat 1,200 calories every single day, especially while on maintenance. That's not something that I want to do. And knowing that you are exercising and doing all this type of work, knowing that you are putting yourself in even more of a deficit. So I gained 4 pounds, but then I was at 140. And then I was like, you know what? If I want to keep doing this body recomp thing, then I might end up putting on a little bit more weight. So let me drop 10 pounds and then go back into body recomp. That was the worst decision ever, because now my brain is still fixated on the number on the scale, is still fixated on weight loss. Instead of just switching my brain from weight loss to body recomposition and just focusing on that and maintaining weight and just building muscle, which you can also eat in a calorie surplus slightly so that you can put on muscle, my brain still wanted to travel back to weight loss. And I wanted to be 130. And that was the worst decision I ever made, by wanting to be 130. Last week I gave an update stating that I was at 133, and I said either I want to be 130 or close to 130. Well, I'm at 133 and I'm stopping there. I'm not going down any further. Putting weight loss in the forefront up here. And I get it, you know, any weight loss journey that you see here on YouTube, the main thing is how much weight did you lose? How much weight did you lose? For those of you who are not filming your journey on YouTube, kudos to you. What I should have done was just, you know, kind of withheld it and kept it to myself for a little bit, as long as I could, and then come out with it. Or what I should have done was not just made it all about a number on the scale, and just made it more about, you know, pictures and measurements and just basically overall mental health and how I was feeling on the inside and out versus a number on the scale, if that makes sense. The second regret here that I have is the body dysmorphia. I got it. I know I got it. At first I was in denial because I was like, no, I don't have body dysmorphia. I'm just trying to get used to this new body that I have. You know, I've never been 130 something pounds. Now I've been 150 before I started having kids, and then after I had my first child, but I never saw 150 again. You know, it was always 190 or 170 or 200s. That's it. I never saw the 140s and the 130s, and to be in the 130s, I liked seeing that number. I liked when I go to the doctor and it says my BMI is good. That was what I was more focused on versus how I felt on the inside. And is this truly the body silhouette that I wanted? Is this truly what I wanted? And if it's not, then why am I at this number? So the body dysmorphia is real, because I will tell you, now that I am closer to the 130s, I'm noticing a lot of changes. Not only was I able to see my clavicle, but it was just something that I've already was able to see. Granted, the women in my mom's family, they're more smaller from the waist up, but I am able to see my chest bones. You may not be able to see it that clear, but honey, I was looking in the mirror and I saw that and I was like, what in the world is going on? Like, Tamika, what did you do to your body? And it hit me so bad. It was like, why was I so focused on a number instead of just focusing on the plan? The plan was to look and feel good at my best. And what is my best? I said my best was at 150. I can go down to 145, but I shouldn't have went down any lower than that. And like I said, it was just all about a number, seeing what can I do. And it was like a gamble, like a gambling addiction, you know. Weight loss can be an addiction. It really can. And it can really put a toll on your body and your mental, because I'm putting my body through unnecessary stress when I really should not have done so. And I know some might say, well, girl, your body looks good. Of course it looks good with clothes on, you know, but put me in a bikini and then you'll be able to see what I see. You know, I can't get on here naked. I am going through some different changes with my body, and I'll discuss that in another later video. But it really just hit me early this week that this is not the body that I wanted, but it's the body that I chose to get because of my greed of wanting to lose more and more and more and more weight. And you have to know your non-negotiables of how much weight you want to lose and what you want to look like. Like, you're in control of this. Like, don't allow this medication to take over your whole mindset and your decision making to the point where you start making some poor decisions. To some, not all, but for me, I started making poor decisions because I shouldn't have gotten this small when there was no need for me to be this small. I do watch other content creators that are not within the GLP-1 because I came from the weight loss genre, but it wasn't until I got on GLP-1 that's when I started like getting more attraction to my channel. But with weight loss itself, you know, it's either you're in a calorie deficit, you're maintaining, or you in a surplus. But when you're in a surplus, you're doing it just to gain muscle, and then you do a little mini cut. But the thing is, when it comes down to weight loss, you don't want to just stay within a low calorie deficit for the rest of your life. You know, you want to be able to eat at your maintenance at some point. And, you know, I try not to be really hard on myself about it, but it just really, everything just fell into place, and you know, the light bulb just went off, and I was like, that's why I see women say they feel good or they want to be around the 170s or the 160s, and I'd be like, dang, you don't want to go lower than that? And that's me. I'm like, you don't want to go lower than that? Like, come with me. Come in the 140s and the 130s. And I'm sure women are out there are like, honey, I don't want to be where you at in the 130s and 140s. That is not their calling. Their calling is to be in the 170s or, 160s or 180s. And I even heard one person said that they were good in the 190s. And the fact that, and I commend y'all for wanting to be there, because to me, that's where the curves are. No woman wants to lose their curves, and I lost all of my curves, okay? Let's just keep it real. I lost it all. And, I do want some of it back, and now I'm just working hard to get it back. And that's just something I just wanted to leave with you. Like, although it is good and, it's all fun when the scale is coming down, but then when you have to deal with your body outside of the camera and you're looking at it and you're like, I took my weight loss too far. I took it too far, and I should not have went this low with my weight scale and just wanting your BMI to be so perfect. But it's like, I sacrificed all of that for what? Saggy breasts, no booty, literally a flat butt. Saggy, well, now my thighs are getting stronger, but like, everything was sagging on me. Stomach was really drooping really bad and everything. I've worked really hard to get this far where I am with my body right now. But I'm just saying, I just took it a little too far. Like, yeah, my boobs are right here, but when I take the bra off, my pectoral muscles, I think that's what you call them, I can literally feel them and they're sticking out. And then it's my breasts. That's not how I want my silhouette to look. That is not how I want my body composition to look. So it goes deeper than that. So when I have on my clothes, honey, of course I look good with my clothes on. But when it comes off, that's the true story, okay? And that's something that I have to live with. But I just wanted to share that with you. I mean, it's all good in the neighborhood over here, but I just want to be extremely transparent that there are some good, there's some bad, and there is some ugly. And you just have to pick your battle and just know your non-negotiable. When your doctor or when your mindset is like, okay, just drop a little bit more weight, you got to know to say stop gambling with your weight and put a halt to it. When you would know when you feel good at the right size and the right weight and how you look in the mirror, everything will fall into play. Don't gamble with your weight like I did, because you can easily take it too far and then you will not be happy with your results, and then it will be a struggle trying to get back on track. So I just wanted to share that with you. If you are not subscribed to the channel, honey, I don't know what you are doing, but please make sure you subscribe to the channel, especially if you made it this far in the video, okay? Subscribe, like, and share your experience down in the comments section below. I'll be waiting for you. Goodbye, gorgeous.